Cardi had some really great ideas to get me started on the project. She really was excited to create something fun and something that could take the lyrics and elevate it to just make an experience. You start seeing people's reactions and you're like, okay, I think we were right here.
I said certified free, 7 days a week, wet and gushy, make that pull-out game weak. Yeah, you dealing with some wet and gushy.
When I got the song, it was basically like, all right, we got to shoot this in like 3 to 4 weeks from now. And considering the way that everything moves so much slower, it was just kind of like, whew, here we go. I had a couple really great initial conversations with Cardi and met up with her at her house, and we started talking about just stylistically what this should look like. And I really wanted to go somewhere that was really trippy, somewhere that was really fun, that had a little bit more innocence than the song has. And I think when you see that kind of juxtaposition as far as the imagery versus what they're saying, it really does kind of make it this really bizarre experience.
Yeah, you dealing with some wet and gushy.
So when you look at this set piece right here, a majority, I would say probably 98% of this is all practical. The set was really, really massive. But what we did add in post was this water right here dripping through different doorways. We had, on some of the close-ups of these sculptures, we had water dripping or pouring off of them. And then you'll see too, on this particular shot actually, the back wall is capped. But in a majority of the shots, I actually tried to make this hallway feel endless. I work really closely with my design teams to really try and figure out how bizarre we can go, but also how elegant you can be with it. It was really like a perfect balance of matching like the elegance and like how extravagant a mansion could really be, but also adding these very surreal factors to it that made it its own personal world. I mean, nobody has, you know, ass sculptures hanging on the wall like this.
Beat it up, baby, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this cookie right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card.
This was another thing that Cardi was like, yo, I really want snakes, and like I want us to be covered in snakes somehow. I got to work with my design team and design this incredible room that could have been another room that they could have walked through that hallway and entered. I love the transition that we did here where the door knocker comes alive and eats the camera, and then all of a sudden it takes you into this space. So yes, like a lot of these snakes in this scene were real, and it was pretty much the funniest thing ever to see their reactions seeing the snakes at first. I mean, some of these anacondas were 20 feet long. Like it was wild. Like I don't think I would put those snakes on me. But then you also have to look sexy, and you also have to be able to be confident and like give a great performance while all these snakes are crawling all over you. So it was definitely like really, really wild. So this green snake was definitely putting up a crazy riot on set and just crawling all over. There was definitely a point when it like crawled underneath Meg's back and then like around and went over her neck. Like it was like, everybody was like, oh shit. And then yeah, some of these other ones we added in post.
Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep, I need a Henny drink, I need a woo.
This is definitely one of my favorite sets of the video. She had this idea of doing this leopard print room and having the wardrobe match it. Colin, her stylist and creative director, was already on the phone with people in Paris to get all of the materials shipped over. So we basically got all this furniture, and then we had it all custom upholstered with this leopard print. The crazy part is we didn't actually get this leopard print until a day before. So we had the entire set built but no leopard print on it, so we had to, on the day of, put it all on.
Yana, I'm a freak. Handcuffs, leashes. Switch my wig, make them feel like a cheating.
I wanted this room to pretty much be like the identical version of what Cardi's leopard room was. Everything on this set is 100% practical. The entire floor was the same material as the walls and her wardrobe. EJ killed the wardrobe. Meg's stylist and Colin Cardi stylists were just perfectly there. They designed these together, so it was flow. It had it all. For this scene right here, it was so important to have like a big choreography breakdown where they're dancing in water and splashing, and we had Jaquel Knight on board to choreograph this. And Jaquel's, a legend, in his own, and to be able to have him on board of this piece was so important. I felt like there needed to be water incorporated in the entire piece. So I always loved the idea of them performing in this like very shallow pool. So this pool is only probably an inch thick. By the way, we shot this scene at like 4:30 in the morning. This was like literally the last scene of the entire shoot. This is how we wrapped it. The water was cold. We couldn't warm it up, or else that was going to affect the clarity of how it was all going to look. So there was like, everybody had to power through this. We're talking 4:30 in the morning. Everybody's starting to get a little bit delusional. We have a techno crane whipping in and out of this scene. There's water, there's dancing, there's so many moving parts. Everybody, this is when mistakes are usually made, and there were none.
Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet and gushy. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet and gushy.
Being able to see all these powerful females that are just killing it, whether it was Sukiana or Ruby Rose and Mulatto. For me, I've always been a massive fan of Rosalia, and Normani, of course, just absolutely came in and killed it. The idea of having them in these different rooms as they walk through the hallway ended up being so genius, because I don't know if you saw the memes and stuff like that of people inserting themselves into these hallways. I mean, I had no idea people were going to do that, but it just happened to be the way that we shot everything that ended up making it perfect for people to insert themselves into these worlds. Making this video was definitely like an emotional roller coaster. I think the moment that I turned on the playback for the first time and I saw all the crew's reactions to the song, they hadn't heard the song yet. A lot of the crew hadn't heard the song. I was like, okay, this is gonna change the game.
I'm talking wop, wop, wop. That's some wet and gushy. Macaroni in a pot. That's some wet and gushy. Huh.
Oh, I definitely have this ass sculpture in my house upstairs. I took that home. I had to, because it was just incredible.